Hello, this is just another video. In the front page advertisement of a leading Tamil newspaper, I saw this caption under the very bottom. It is very inspiring to me. Also, I am a researcher in genius and creativity for the last 40 years plus. Of course, it is an often heard thing, but you are a genius and the world needs your contribution. In inverted commas, of course, you can see that. Dr. Ashok Bakthavalthsalam, founder and managing director, KGiSL. Of course, it is a Coimbatore-based institution or organization. This is a very inspiring caption for the campaign of an education institution. But this is this concept, you are a genius, everybody is a genius, is in the campaign for the last even 2 decades. That is a truth of the entity, like the hand, like the fingers have all kinds of movements available. But in order to play a musical instrument such as tabla or guitar or piano or sitar and so on, it needs to be trained, it needs to be shaped. In the hands of the genius of Zakir Hussain, there are no extra movements at all. But using the same available genius of movements of the hands, he is able to do wonders on the tabla. For example, similarly, the movements of our engines of intellect, our attention, our perception, our reflection, our thinking, our conceptualization, our imagination, our visualization, and so on, are there. When they are all triggered and evolved, which should be done because those instruments are an integral part of your entity, unlike a tabla or piano or guitar. Okay? So, it is your responsibility, it is your ethical obligation to train in some of them so that their existence is fulfilled. And then you become a genius. And then you can make a genius choices of contributions, that's all. In fact, everybody is contributing to the survival and sustenance of the so-called world. But here contribution, of course, Dr. Ashok Bakthavalthsalam mean a genius level contribution. Because there are contributions of a genius level body, mind, intellect, intelligence, spirit. So when this very general fifth orbit statement is released to the world, it's a doubtful perception for the audience, because they do not really feel that they have the genius levels. And perhaps reading and hearing this kind of statements from so-called gurus and leaders and well-known thinkers like anybody, then people just know this statement. They may even believe in this statement. Like people know the fundamentals of religions very clearly. But to live that religion, but to live the God of that religion, it needs genius. So this is a wonderful statement. But an education institution, of course, at the primary and secondary school level should have trained the children to identify and trigger and develop their engines of intellect, which is the genius. I mean, the power of attention, the power of reflection, the power of imagination, the power of conceptualization, the power of observation, and power of creative analysis of the data they get from those observations. That is never being done. And how can so-called almost every you can be a genius at all? In its manifest level. Yeah, at the internal level, of course, there is, like the movements of the hand, like the central nervous system processes, the cerebral processes, the neuronal magic, which registers all the knowings and all the ways of doings and all the states of being. But the infinite number of neural networks are seldom triggered and utilized. So, I am telling this to the world. A great lot of creativity researchers also talk this to the world. But who is bothered to become a genius? Or who is bothered about genius level contributions to the world? Are the national leaders, religious leaders, trade leaders, corporate leaders are concerned about this? How many of them are really confident, really certain, really clear about the so-called genius choices in their life, in their work, in their relationships, in their expressions, in their responses, in their languages? Genius level in their attention, perception, perspectives about the world. So respected Dr. Ashok Bakthavalthsalam, this statement is of just English language. The referenda, the realities of that language are to be translated into expression, into manifestation. If unmanifested, it is equivalent to not existent. That's all, sir.